Hey on-handers, feeling old and tired? Well, I'm wondering if that's due in part to some inflammation. So let's fight it! Today I've got some great recipes, some delicious beverages to help you fight that nasty inflammation. But first, let's learn what we're dealing with. Inflammation is your body's natural reaction to stress, and it's very necessary. It's a reaction to things like an injury or disease. So we do need some degree of inflammation, but when we start getting into chronic inflammation, that's when we encounter a problem. Chronic inflammation can come from places like too much stress and definitely places in your diet, which is what you know we're tackling today. Now, there are foods that can cause inflammation, such as fried foods, sometimes dairy, depending upon your constitution, sugar, alcohol, and even too much caffeine. But today, let's not focus on what's causing the inflammation. That's gonna be up to you to decide what's in your diet. But in the On-Hand Kitchen, we're gonna give you some things to fight it. Today, we'll be making 3 delicious beverages to help reduce inflammation. The first will be a nice, warm, cozy beverage that is nice for bedtime or even post-recovery workout. The second is a golden milkshake, and that will also be delicious for any time of day that you need a little treat or for post-recovery from a workout. And finally, we'll wrap things up with a cozy beverage that will help you to sleep well. Let's start by talking about the star of our show. Not me. Turmeric. Turmeric comes in 2 forms. I like to buy it as the whole root, but the powder form is just fine too. Turmeric contains a powerful antioxidant called curcumin. And curcumin has been noted to reduce symptoms around chronic conditions such as arthritis, IBS, joint pain, heartburn, diabetes, high blood pressure, kidney issues, and even Alzheimer's. Furthermore, turmeric has been known to improve brain function, help improve skin health, decrease the chance of cancer, reduce oxidative stress, and it's also a powerful antifungal, antibacterial, and antiviral. I mean, come on, what doesn't this little powerful root do? Now, I would like to remind you here that as much as I probably look and act like one, I'm not a doctor, and I don't advise that anyone take my advice or anything. I'm just here to cook. And I have also read that curcumin and turmeric are not recommended for children or for women who are breastfeeding or pregnant. Okay, but that's enough of all this educational business. Let's get making. Now it's a little chilly here today, but it's gonna be warming up soon. So we're gonna start by making a golden milkshake. This will be a delicious treat that will also offer you all the anti-inflammatory benefits from turmeric and its friends. Now, unlike a lot of my recipes, this one takes just a little bit of planning. The night before you're ready to make this delicious beverage, you're going to take a can of coconut milk and mix together the liquid and the coconut solid and beat it together with a whisk in a bowl. Now, I did that last night, and I'm sorry I can't show you today because it was my last can of coconut milk, but I'll show you the end product and I think you can figure this one out on your own. Once that coconut is all mixed together, you're just going to pour it into some ice cube molds. And if you have cute, adorable little heart-shaped ice cube molds, feel free to use them. Next up, you're gonna slice up some bananas the night before too, and get those laid out in a single layer in some type of dish or pan, and get those into your freezer too. And please, whatever you do, don't make the mistake of asking your 12-year-old son to freeze a banana for you. In addition to those frozen bananas and frozen coconut milk, adorable heart-shaped ice cubes, you're also going to need, of course, the star of our show, some turmeric, and you can use that in powdered or in bulb form. We're gonna need a pinch of black pepper because that's what helps to activate and help your body absorb the curcumin. I like to have a pinch of salt as well, and then we'll add some cinnamon, some coconut oil, and if you like things a little sweeter, you'll want some raw honey or some dates. And finally, you'll need the nut milk of your choice. I'm preferring to work with cashew milk, of course. And shoot, the turmeric is such a show stealer, I forgot to talk about ginger. Sorry, ginger. Ginger is also a powerful antiviral and antioxidant, and it will help with digestion. So let's throw some of that in there too. Now all we'll do is throw our items into a high-powered blender, coconut milk, ice cubes, bananas, sticky bananas, about an inch or so, maybe half an inch of ginger. I'm gonna throw in a full tablespoon of turmeric, maybe half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a good pinch of black pepper, a tablespoon of coconut oil, and I will go ahead and throw in about a teaspoon of honey today. And finally, we'll just add some ice cold cashew milk. And of course, you can use oat milk or any type of nut milk that you like to use, but dairy can often be inflammatory, like I said earlier. So let's try to stay away from dairy milk, which I know is confusing because we're calling it a milkshake. Mock shake? Now, a quick word on nut milks, by the way. So easy to make, and absolutely you can avoid buying this in the store, which contains a lot of different fillers and thickeners and things you just don't want in your nut milk. All you need is water and a high-powered blender and whatever nuts you like to use, or oats. Hemp seeds, it's just that easy. And a lot of people will strain their nuts. Not me. I don't like to strain my nuts. So now let's just add this cashew milk, secure the lid on our Vitamix, and get this thing going. So you want to blend this, maybe starting on low and then working your way up to high until all the ingredients integrate and it's really starting to look like ice cream in there, but not cream. If it's too thick, feel free to add a little bit more of your nut milk or non-dairy milk. And after a minute or so in your high-powered blender, it's ready to serve. So we'll just pour it into your glass of choice. This is my glass of choice. You can see how thick and delicious and creamy this is. And you guys, look at that color. And I know we're only in the middle of the episode, but it is tasting time. Man, I am not even kidding you when I tell you this might be the most delicious thing I have ever tasted. And it's good for you. It's so thick and creamy, you could actually probably have it as ice cream with a spoon. But I'm gonna attempt to suck it through this tiny little straw and really enjoy it. Just be careful not to give yourself a brain freeze, but other than that, this is a magical, delicious beverage, and I hope your joints and hips and everything else feel better after enjoying this. Okay, let's move on to phase 2, which is taking this beverage, pretty similar in construction, but we're gonna warm it up for a cozy day like today. Now, because I'm such a big fan of the golden milk, I actually made up a little jar of the spices so that I don't have to measure it every time. And I'll list that in the comments below. But this is just a combination of powdered turmeric, powdered ginger, cinnamon, black pepper, and a little bit of salt. And I really do prefer to use fresh ginger and fresh turmeric when available, but sometimes it's just not available. Okay, so we'll take things over to the stovetop now to warm things up a bit. And wait until you try this delicious frothy beverage. So we'll just start with a saucepan and we'll turn that to medium-low. Because I'll be putting everything into the Vitamix when we're done warming things up, I'm adding everything whole. But if you wanted to, you can use your nut milk at this time. But I'm just going to start with some whole cashews, raw, unsalted, that have been soaking overnight. And that's about a quarter cup for each serving. Next, we'll add about a cup of water, a date with its pit removed, about a tablespoon of oil, a small piece of ginger, about a tablespoon of our turmeric, cinnamon, and black pepper combination. And if you're adding those ingredients in individually, it's about a tablespoon of turmeric, maybe a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, you know we don't really measure around here, and maybe just a tiny little dash of salt and about a pinch of black pepper. Next up is about a tablespoon of coconut cream. Then we'll just stir things around until the coconut oil melts and everything gets nice and warm. And finally, about a teaspoon of honey, if you choose. And honestly, it looks pretty gross, like some type of disgusting soup, but it smells delicious, which means you know it's gonna taste delicious too. And just be careful working with that turmeric because man, it stains. And when things are nice and warm, definitely not to a boil, let's turn off the heat and pour this into our high-powered blender. Now, I'm sure this would also work great with an immersion blender if you have one, but you know how I feel. So then we'll just replace the lid and hit it. And we'll let that go for quite a while because we're gonna break up that date and all those cashews. And after about a minute, things should be nice and rich and frothy. Oh my gosh, that smells delicious. I feel like I just wanna steam myself in this. Then we'll just pour it into a mug. Oh, you guys, I wish you could smell this. I don't have to wish. Make it yourself and you can smell it yourself. And it's tasting time. That is so delicious. I think I can feel my joints and muscles soothing as I drink this. It is warm and comforting and so good for you. But we still have one tasty, delicious beverage to go, and this one's gonna help you to sleep, I hope. And for our final anti-inflammatory concoction, let's please not call this a smoothie. It's so much more magical to think about drinking an elixir before bedtime than a smoothie. This time we're going to introduce the magic of the Tart cherry. Now you can buy these fresh or frozen. Today I'll be using frozen. Now cherries are wonderful for sleep, and they're also great for exercise recovery and enhancing performance, because as we learned in last week's episode, magnesium is one powerful element. Magnesium will help with stress reduction and also to lull you softly to a peaceful sleep. That's why this beverage is so nice to have right before bed or right after a workout. Okay, let's get to making it. Now all you need here are, of course, some cherries. Let's add some bananas for potassium, a little bit of that coconut oil, certainly some turmeric for anti-inflammatory reasons, a date, or you can sweeten with some honey or maple syrup, a pinch of pepper to activate that curcumin, and I love a little tiny dash of salt, a little bit of coconut cream, not necessary, but I love it, and some cashews, whole, soaked overnight, and raw, unsalted, to add a little bit of protein, and some water. Let's get blending. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? I forgot the ginger again. Sorry, ginger. Okay, so I'm sure you don't even need me to tell you what to do here. Just like before, we're gonna add all of our ingredients to our high-powered blender. We'll start with the bananas, cherries, water. There's no science or methodology here, as usual. Cashews, ginger, about a tablespoon of turmeric, about a tablespoon of coconut oil, good pinch of black pepper, maybe 2, tiny little pinch of salt, and whatever coconut cream you have left over from that can after you made those heart-shaped ice cubes that you're gonna make. Remember? Then we'll just throw in that date or honey if you're using it, or maple syrup, or nothing at all, because the fruit is going to be plenty sweet enough. Then we'll just secure our lid and blend away. After about a minute, we can give it a taste. Oh yeah, all right, it's tasting time. Gosh, that's delicious, and I think I'm tired. Now, I just tried a little sample of that, and the rest I'm going to pour into a nice little container that I'm actually bringing over to my neighbor's house, who lent me the turmeric for this episode, because how the heck was I supposed to film this episode without turmeric? Thank you, Dave and Emma. Success! Okay, thanks so much again for joining me, you guys. You've been tremendous. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed, who sent me emails, texts, telling me how much you love this show. It started out as just a fun little let's give it a go, and it's turned into something that lifts my spirits every day. I'm so grateful for every ounce of support I get. Please, if you haven't yet subscribed, do it now. I love a thumbs up or a thumbs down and a comment to tell me what you'd like to see more of, because that helps me to grow and learn. I love you. I can't wait to see you soon. Come find me at On Hand Cooking on Instagram or Robin Moriarty on Facebook. Can't wait to see you again next week.